Hey guys, Joe here doing a quick thing from the future. That is the Escape video you're about to watch. I have to apologize in advance. Number one, color correction was very difficult on this cheap ass camera that I bought, so I'm sending it back and getting something else. Number two, the audio. It's going to sound blown out even though I have it set to minus 27 decibels. The microphone or my phone or something went absolutely ape crap bananas and it would not correct. And I cannot correct it because I don't have expensive software. I don't have expensive microphones. I think I'm going to have to invest in some kind of XLR setup when I get the new camera. So that's coming. You'll have to bear with it for one or two videos. I apologize, but I will fix that issue. Yeah, other than that, let's get into it. It's the first one back. Keep in mind, when I go and look at a vehicle, I'm looking at a vehicle as if I was the one going to buy it. So these are my impressions as if I was buying it. I like to think after 17 years in the industry, I was pretty good at helping people pick cars that worked for them. So I know what a larger number of people want versus somebody who only looks at one or two vehicles every 5 to 15 years. So let's jump into it, and here we go. Old familiar stomping grounds, kinda. Hey guys. Joe here in the sun doing a walk up to find a vehicle. Brand new car. We're going to be checking it out. Something I'm bringing back. Haven't done that in a while, so I'll show you the vehicle when I get to it. The fun of finding the vehicle that you're trying to review. I've missed these days. All used cars smell the same. Hey guys, Joe here, and thank you so much for checking out this video. It's been a long time since we did a car review. Today we're taking a look at a 2020 Ford Escape. Before we get going, thank you so much to Jerry's Ford for allowing me to use this vehicle. They are not paying me for this review. They are not giving me anything for this review. They're just letting me use the vehicle. They're not even looking at this video before I upload it. So do me a big favor. If you like these reviews, you like these vehicles, check them out, jerrysford.com or jerrysauto.com. I'll put both links in there because they own more than one dealership. And you'll help me by showing them some love, and they'll let me look at cool stuff like this titanium hybrid all-wheel drive we're about to look at, and maybe even like the new Shelby. And of course there's an airplane. This doesn't look like the last generation Escape in any shape, way, or form. And it's an amazing vehicle to look at. And I know that sounds very fanboyish, but when I first saw it, I was like, you're for real? But when you first walk up on this thing, man, you have no idea that this is an Escape. This looks like it's a up-level vehicle. Like when Lincoln took the Escape and turned it into the MKC, they did stuff like this to it. And the fact that the Ford has it now is just amazing. The body line, completely changed. It's not super tall like it used to be. It's actually quite a bit shorter, but it doesn't feel like it from the inside. From the back, that's an incredible angle. I think they did an incredible job on the back here, which is one area where many manufacturers kind of give up. They just draw the rest of the car and they're like, good enough, going home, having a beer. But no, from any angle, this thing just, it looks foreign, if that makes any sense. When you're looking at it dead on from the side, it almost looks Porsche-ish. Looks a little bit like a Macan Turbo, at least in my opinion. And if you can be compared to a super high-end vehicle like that, you're doing well. So taking a look at the window sticker, and I'll put it up here on the screen so you can see it because the window is too darkly tinted. I can't actually get a good shot of it. This vehicle is pretty much loaded out from the get-go. As soon as you check the box to buy it, you get all kinds of features with it. The only option on it that I'm seeing is the titanium premium package, which basically is a charge for the roof. Just something you deal with when you're filming. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to move inside, and the next part of it will be partially on my phone, partially on the action camera. So let's jump inside. So here we are on the interior of the 2020 Ford Escape Hybrid all-wheel drive. Very handsome place to sit, very nice place to be. As you can see, it has the fully digital dashboard, which is an amazing piece of technology. Back in the day, this was like the dream for manufacturers to be able to do. It even has its own heads-up display. A little bit different from GM's, we'll talk about that in a minute. But as we look through, some of the switches and knobs are very familiar to those of us that have been in Fords before. You have your light switches up here, along with your fog lights, auto lights, all that good stuff. Your dimming here. Your lock controls with memory settings for the seats on this one. Coming down to the steering wheel, on this side you have all your cruise. This has adaptive cruise and lane keep assist, as well as your volume controls for the radio. On this side you have all your other menu controls, so you can change your different screens, such as fuel economy, trip, all that good stuff. And you can go back and you can look at the different menus, do things like bring up your navigation, all that good stuff. And then below it you have your Bluetooth controls. This is a knob style Jaguar, BMW, even new Chrysler-ish style shifter. You have park, reverse, neutral drive. This is a CVT transmission, so you're not going to have a manual mode on this particular model. This one does come with the full complement of parking assist. That will automatically park for you when it senses that you have a space available. This is your park sensors, so you can turn that off so it doesn't beep at you. And then you have this button, which is a fun button. It's kind of like the M Sport button in a BMW. You push it and you have your different driving modes. Obviously normal, Eco, which coaches you to obviously conserve as much fuel as possible, Sport, which turns red and racy. That allows for faster throttle responses and things like that. As you can see, it changes from blue to red. Slippery, which helps handle the traction control for the vehicle, just in case you're in snow and ice. Being all-wheel drive, you have that. And of course you have deep snow and sand, and that's for if you need to run to the store after 12 inches of snow comes down. So as you can see, you do have a nice display that tells you when you are sending power directly to the batteries, which is nice to see. It'll also tell you when it's discharging from the batteries to the wheel motors. Typical touchscreen navigation. It does a little bit of everything. You can do it voice control, you can do it by typing in. Works very well. It's sync based, so it's sync 3.0 unless they've added another version. Some of us were selling cars back when Sync 1 first came out, and compared to Sync 1, this is so much better because it's basically a smartphone or a tablet right here in your vehicle, and that is awesome to have. Very deep glove box. You can fit all kinds of paperwork in there. Now I'm in my current seating position. I'm very comfortable, and as you can see, there is plenty of room for my feet, plenty of room with a dead pedal. Some of the older ones, they just didn't have enough room in here for that. Passenger side is again very spacious, a lot of room. And looking into the back here, you can see it's got a lot of room back there as well. So we're going to climb into the back now and take a look at this thing. Before we do that, let's show you one of the best party tricks Ford ever came out with, and that is the panoramic sunroof. They do it better than anybody else, period. And this thing is ginormous, and you can see everything if you're a sunroof guy. Let me know down in the comments if you guys like sunroofs. So here we are in the back seat, and I am happy to say there is more legroom for the rear seat passengers than there used to be. It wasn't that bad before, but now I'm very comfortable sitting back here. In fact, I would probably say there's about as much rear legroom, here, let me show you, as there was in my dad's Ram. So that's a pretty good indicator of how much more room there is in this vehicle. Third middle seat here. Obviously you can seat 3 back here, but if it's just 2 of you, you have an armrest and a cup holder. Even with the panoramic moonroof, this is impressive amount of headroom because I'm sitting straight up and down right now, or at least I'm sitting how I would sit if I was being driven around in this vehicle. And it's not a bad place to be driven around in either. The seats are very nice in here and very comfortable. So this Ford does have one of my favorite party tricks. If you've been out shopping, you got a lot of bags in your hand, you're coming back to your vehicle in a parking lot, you just come up to it and do this. And Bob's your uncle. Fully powered tailgate on this one. It is an option. Obviously, when you get up into the titanium, it's just going to automatically have it. But it does have plenty of cargo space, as you can see back here when I sit down in it. So taking a look at the cargo room, plenty of depth in here. You can get most of your shopping in here with absolutely no problem. They did do a little bit of a design thing where they kind of extended the length of the vehicle into the tailgate, which allows for more room up here, because otherwise you'd be stopping right here, but it actually comes out quite a bit more. You get a lot more room by having just a few more inches. You can get a lot more stuff in there. All the seats fold down and they all have your child tether points as well. So taking a look under the hood here, you have a 2.5 liter engine coupled with an electric motor generator for the hybrid system, so that you can definitely get up and go and not feel like you're causing any sort of backup or forcing people to wait for you in traffic. Okay guys, time to go for a drive. Nice thing about hybrids is when you're in just cruise mode and light mode, just kind of moves on without the engine coming on and nice and quiet. When these things first started coming out, when the Fusion Hybrid first came out, we used to think it was funny to try to sneak up on our bosses. They'd be standing outside and we'd roll up behind them, so it's really fun to do. And in a parking lot, you don't need to have something that's super loud like the old Mustang was. Even though it's all-wheel drive, it has a very tight turning radius, which is very handy to have, especially if you're in a tight parking situation and you can't really get through there very easily. Yeah, no chattering from the all-wheel drive system of any kind, which is what we want. Sight lines out of the vehicle are very good. I can easily see all the way around me. Obviously the A-pillars are a little bit thicker than they were back in the day, but that's because of safety, man. You need to be able to protect those you love, and these are 5-star crash ratings, and even with the moonroof, it's a 4-star rollover rating, so awesome there. So what we're doing today, this being the first time I've done one in a few years, is we're establishing a route that we're going to use from this point on for future videos. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to start here. We're in town right now. We're going to go out, jump onto Highway 7, which is right near the dealership, and then we will come back around, jump on of the very end of the toll road, which is out here, which has a free exit, and then come back on a surface street. It'll give us a good mix of speed, handling, turning, and how it handles different road surfaces, because some of these roads are terrible, some of them are better than others. As you can see, there's a lot of construction going on right now, so but yeah, this is the simplest way to do it, and it should give us the least amount of traffic. As you can see over there, they're eliminating a lot of the overpasses or a lot of the stoplights in Leesburg going into Sterling, and they need to do it this way. It's very smooth getting up to speed, which I really appreciate. I like how the changes they made to the design on the body are immediately noticeable when it comes to the wind noise. This is a much less windy area by the doors, and because they were able to handle the wind noise better, they were able to eliminate the additional little window that used to be down there by the mirror. They used to have that there to help channel wind away from the window, but the new design of the mirrors and the new design of the fenders more than likely helps out the most. But getting onto 7 here, it's a 55-mile-an-hour zone. I'm already going 55, so it's not like I need to accelerate anymore. But it's very stable. It feels heavier than it is in a good way. Sometimes you get into some of these older ones, previous generation, like CR-Vs and RAV4s and even the original Escapes, and they felt floaty. This thing actually feels nice and planted, and speed seems to be like non-issue here, because it's just like, you know, I'm going to hit some ruts on purpose as we do this and feel how it handles little dips and things in the road. So, and this being a titanium, it has the bigger wheels on it, yet it's still doing very well. We're going to take a cloverleaf now. We'll see how it handles going into a curve. It's a 25 mile an hour. I'm doing it at like 35. So we'll see how much better this is than previous. But yeah, now going into the corners, you can feel it lean, but it doesn't try to bounce back. When it bounces back, that's when you have that problem. When the suspension is trying to fight to get this side of the car back up in the curve, it can cause some instabilities, but this thing is just stable. Now we're going to get it up to the toll road speeds, although we are going to be getting off right away again. So it's got plenty of power to merge. I'm having no problem at all getting up to speed. I don't have to floor it, don't have to do anything crazy with it. Let's try the brakes a little bit. So this is a brand new car. It's got 11 miles on it. The brakes, being a hybrid, you have just that initial touch of grab at the very top, and then it just becomes a nice steady push, which is something I really appreciate. Earlier generation hybrids were like you touch the brakes for this much and then whack, it stops you, and then you have brakes. This seems to be just kind of linear. I've taken it around a couple of blocks already and done a few stops with it, and it seems to just be braking. I love the digital dashboard. I love that it's completely configurable, so you can put different things on different screens. That's awesome, because it enables you to find the most optimal setup for you. Like when I drive my truck, I like to have a digital speedometer and the regular speedometer available to me at all times. Some folks might want like their tire pressure all the time, or navigation instructions on their center stack, or whatever you might want. It's nice to have that option. This road's a little bit cracked up. It's not a brand new road, and you don't feel it. I mean, this thing handles these ups and downs and road expansion joints absolutely beautifully. No problem at all. I will say immediately, this does not feel like an Escape anymore. In a great way. It feels like a much more upscale vehicle. I just went the wrong way. Oops, it's been a while since I've been here. We'll go back the other way then. I have no idea if I can make this turn. If I get pulled over, I get pulled over. The seats are very comfortable. I have plenty of thigh support, leg support, and that's very important to me because when I do long drives, my legs tend to hurt faster than any other part of my body, and I'm sure that's for a lot of you out there as well. So having good support for your legs means that you're going to sit correctly, and then your back won't hurt as much, you won't get as fatigued, you won't get as tired as quickly, and you can actually drive longer without being a danger to other people on the road. So because I went the wrong way and I had to do a U-turn, I'm going to go ahead and jump back onto the end of the toll road, and we'll try some acceleration now, or at least when we get to the area of the freeway. So I've given plenty of room to the cars ahead of me so that I can do this. It's got very smooth acceleration. Obviously, being a CVT, it's going to be more of a just push, which is fine. This thing gets up and goes. I'm already at freeway speeds. No torque steer, no torque steer to speak of, which is very nice. So I'm not having to fight the wheel at all, which can also be a problem with some overpowered front-wheel drive vehicles, but this one's all-wheel drive, so it kind of avoids that problem. I like the heads-up display. This is a very different implementation from the GM, and it's the first time I've seen it, and I'm told that the Escape is actually the first implementation of it. So yeah, we're going to be taking a look at the features on that in a second. Hey, you guys want to see something really cool? Check this out. You like heads-up displays? We got your heads-up displays. So that's about it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you want me to keep doing this, because I do have to drive like 45 minutes to get out to the dealership in order to make these videos. And I'm happy to do it. I just want to know that you guys want to watch them. Check out Jerry's Auto Group down in the description. You can see all their inventory. You can check it all out. You can fill out an online application if you see a vehicle you just have to have. And it will show them that it's working for me. Just go ahead and let them know that you saw my video when you call them. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos as long as you guys are still watching them. So come back again next week, because we're going to put up another one. And the more you guys watch and like and subscribe, the more opportunities I'll have to check out even cooler stuff. Who knows? Maybe he'll put me behind the wheel of the Shelby. And as always, I'll talk to you later.